Hi, thanks a lot for deciding to be following what I'm planning to do from any kind of reason. I'm glad to be starting something that I had in mind for a while already, and of course I'm really thankful for any sign of interest from you. My name is Estol. I'm a 20-year-old Hungarian girl who is running a website for 3 years approximately. It's called Darkness Unseen. It consists of metal reviews, also interviews with metal musicians, some concert and festival reports. And you're looking at me right now because I'm just about to mix the whole thing with some video blog elements, so I can freshen it up a little bit and so I can get you, dear person, also a little bit more interested. First, I have to mention that it is completely odd right now to notice how completely different it can be to talk about a subject than to write about it, and so it will take some time for me as well until I get used to this whole thing. It can be like a bad presentation at school.
Have you ever had a dream that you
Even though you practice and prepare a little bit, you just have a lot less control of your words that are coming out of your mouth, as of those that you are writing down after some consideration and can still change after that. Enough of this introduction part. Let's start to talk about the first subject for today finally, which is going to be my first ever video review of one of my favorite thrash albums, and also of one of the albums that have really stayed with me along the years since I know them. We are talking about this one here. Nope, not this one. We are talking about None Shall Defy from Infernal Majesty. Infernal Majesty, whose name has been Lord Satan's disciples and later Overlord in the early days, were a confident standout band from the Canadian thrash speed scene built out by bands like Exciter, Razor, Voivod or Sacrifice on account of their more brutal sound and salient engagement with satanical themes. I had the chance to ask a few questions from original vocalist Chris Bailey a few days ago, and he could confirm this. He told me that they were kind of isolated from others in the early days, that every day has been bitter cold, and that the atmosphere itself between the bands in Toronto was kind of competitive. Still, despite or maybe because of this fact, Infernal Majesty's first cult album, None Shall Defy, is not just a milestone of 80s thrash, but also a forerunner of modern death metal, and certainly an album you just cannot give a miss if you have any interest for more extreme metal genres. None Shall Defy starts like a bulldozer with Overlord, which alone makes me want to scream with joy for the whole time, and the following incredible variation of catchy riffs and fresh enjoyable solos don't help me with holding myself back either. We can hear some obvious influences like Seven Churches era Possessed, also some Hellowaits from Slayer, Darkness Descends from Dark Angel, probably also early gods like Venom or Celtic Frost, and still, Infernal Majesty managed to obtain a sound and write riffs that are original and unmistakable. After an instrumental intro comes Night of the Living Dead, inspired by the March of the Zombies scene of the classic horror film of the same name, containing one of the most beautiful parts of the record in my opinion. I particularly love all the parts where Chris just splatters rapidly all the evil worshipping words to the listener, and as a contrast, in Night of the Living Dead the band changes the speed sometimes on the listener and brings in their doomy, gloomy slowdowns. Now these two contrasting elements make the record so rich in variety and implement each other so oddly in our minds.
Emissaries of evil, raised by the pleasure of their mild inhumanities, wretched outcasts of the underworld, condemned to roam the earth and kill all that lives. And kill all that lives. And kill all that lives.
It's no accident that Infernal Majesty are being called as forerunners of death metal. Their next song, SOS, Satan Our Savior, is musically a pure death metal song with some thrashier vocals. About the song title and about the satanic imagery itself, Chris told me he already began to question the existence of a god in his early teens, and then became a believer of nothing but the physics of the natural world. As he also stated in one of his earlier interviews, for example, "I believe that until all religion is abolished or reduced to small pockets of insignificance, there is no future for mankind." Fun fact, Infernal Majesty was also frequently doing readings of passages of the Satanic Bible during their recordings. Another highlight of the album is the upcoming title track that also became the band's first video. It's catchy, it's solid, and it's diverse, and in my opinion also the texts are the best written here.
Consumated in the fires of hell, demons feed its soul. In ravage, blasting a line of death, the incubus makes it so. Like an evil parasite, feeding under my soul. Unholy, embryo takes full. Divine intervention, funding multiple man to the dark lord, the dark lord, the dark lord. Lord of evil, prince of darkness, we await the birth, the sign of black salvation. Unborn child, devil's spawn, amidst the sound of rending death, we gaze upon thy visage. Rise in the midst, in the gnashing of teeth and the welling of souls. Black, heavy scent, shiver to the flock, the musical staff and the multitude sing. None shall defy. None shall defy.
The upcoming Skeletons in the Closet also rose over us like a bulldozer, containing one of the most sinister and horrific riffs of the album, and then comes another highlight with Anthology of Death about the notorious Jack the Ripper. If you want to hear some thrashy, varied riff flow, the already mentioned tempo changes, and the best solo section of the album, then you get it all in one song with Anthology of Death. And after this 35-minute dose of brutality, I couldn't imagine anything else than a tender deduction with the short closing Path of the Psycho. I personally love paradoxes, and with this band we get two of them right away. After discussing what a severely wicked record None Shall Defy actually is, we can take a quick look at the album cover and the band photos of the members at the time. The cover receives some critique as its main figure is a mix of adorable, ridiculous, and a tiny bit evil. I just find it funny how you cannot unsee it, and Chris also admitted their intention was actually to catch the eye. He also admitted he was a little bit disappointed about the cover at first, but after all they wanted to stand out, and looking back now he would not change a thing. About their appearances, he mentioned it was a reflection of the era and that the flame was kissed when it came to their styling, as that band had a huge impact on him. Never mind the cover, never mind the glammy styling, Infernal Majesty managed to create an album full of grandiose striking riffs and a sinister vibe, an album which is original, complex, incredibly wicked, and inimitably cool. By the way, about some actual stuff, Infernal Majesty just brought their new album No God out this year that can be purchased from High Roller Records. Chris is also working on a book about the story of the band at the moment, and, good news, one of their highest priorities right now is to give concerts again, and according to Chris, we can expect some major announcements soon. Let's wait together! Alright, thanks a lot for watching the video, and please feel free to give me feedback on what I'm doing. Yeah, thank you simply, and see you.